Hey guys, I'm Cyborg Sheep, and welcome to the Weekend Post. You guys, this video, this is the start of something very big, like really big. Strap in, let's break it down. To start off with, I have some top secret plans that I've devised myself. Suffice it to say, I won't be getting into these in this video. However, these are a perfect segue into what I'm going to be doing in this video. So, did I say one video? What I meant to say was 3 videos. 3 times the content! So, this first video will be about LEGO Railway Track. The next video will be about these 2 LEGO models I devised myself. And the third and last video after that will be about this thing. Following the upload of these 3 videos, all the pieces will be in place, and my brilliant scheme will finally come to fruition. So, let's not waste any more time, let's jump right into this video. Now, getting back on track, today we are going to be talking about LEGO Railroad Track. More specifically, making your own LEGO track using sheet metal. But first of all, let's go over some history.
Initially, LEGO Railroad Track used to look like this. The sleepers and the rails would be 2 separate pieces, and would assemble together like so. A later iteration of the design added provisions for electrification. This was done by having 2 electrical pickup rails in the center of the track, and it eliminated the need for having AA batteries on your trains. The next iteration saw the introduction of track that was one solid piece, no more separate sleepers and rails. The initial design had metal rails and was referred to as 9-volt track, because the rails were electrified at 9 volts DC, and worked basically like HO scale trains would. The design had this funky connector in the end, which made it very easy to put track together. The final iteration of the design that we have today is known as Power Functions Track. Unlike 9-volt track, the rails are plastic, and to this day there is still no good means of running electric trains on it, other than using batteries. To solve that issue, I'm going to make my own LEGO track. And to do that, I need to take some measurements. When constructing any railroad track, the first most important dimension to take into account is the gauge, or the width between the running rails. The gauge for a LEGO track looks to be around 37 millimeters. The other critical dimension for this project is the rail height, which looks to be around 3 millimeters.
With those dimensions in mind, I came up with this design right here.
The design is based around cut sections of this steel stud right here. When the curved top profile is held upright, it creates a really good surface for train wheels to roll over.
This construction then assembles like so. 2 2x2 round plates with Technic holes install onto a 632 bolt. A number 6 washer then goes behind those. All of that then installs onto the Technic brick like so. And then a bolt goes on the other side to clamp the whole assembly together. And then the piece of steel stud would install right here and be clamped in between the assembly. A completed sleeper would then work like so. Comparing it with standard LEGO track, you can see it's very close. Adding a slight inward bend on the rails themselves should take out any discrepancy. So now all we have to do is make more ties and cut out longer rails. To make longer rails with this steel stud right here, I got this bench shear. However, in its current state, this bench shear is not the ideal tool for the job. What I had initially intended to do was take this piece of aluminum angle and put it like so. That way it could act as a table, and then I would have another piece perpendicular to that could act as a fence and allow me to make sure that the cuts were always at 90 degrees. However, if I put the steel stud in the place where I would probably cut it, you can see having a table wouldn't have really helped much. So what I'm going to do instead is cut a flat piece out of this angle here, and in the same way I'm going to mount it to that. But then that way, obviously I'll mount it so that it's protruding above the top surface of the bottom jaw there, and that way I can clamp stuff to the flat piece, and that way it's a lot easier, simpler, less complicated to build. So we need to cut the material right here, approximately. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. This is the part where the rubber meets the road, or where the train wheels meet the rails. Oh yes. So, from there, it doesn't take too much imagination or process automation to see that this system could be awesome. The finished system will work pretty much exactly like this. Although the one thing I would change is I would use a soldered or welded connection right here instead of this fish plate. Another advantage of going with metal rails is that electrification and signaling becomes a lot easier. And I almost forgot to mention, speed increases. Anyways, guys, I think we're going to leave the video at that. Hit that like button if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you dudes in the next video.